Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Sunday, November 11th, 2018. Happy Veterans Day to everybody. Today, I'm going to be going over the big Jimmy Butler trade, as well as college football, college basketball, NHL, NBA, NFL. All NFL look ahead today, and I'm going to close the podcast by doing my best bet. I'm going to start with the Jimmy Butler trade, because that was the big thing that happened yesterday. Philadelphia acquires Butler, along with Justin Patton. Going back to Minnesota is Dario Saric, Robert Covington, and a 2020 second-round pick. Yeah, the Rockets ordered more because it was 4 first-round picks that they offered. But we don't know what else they offered. But they get 2 assets with Covington and Saric that they can flip again at the trade deadline if the Timberwolves continue to tank. And you have a second rounder. There should have at least been a first rounder in there, or Markelle Fultz. But anyway, this is a phenomenal trade for Philadelphia. They didn't have to give up a first round pick, or Simmons, or Embiid. And it's funny because there were reports out a long time ago that Thibodeau wanted Ben Simmons for Jimmy Butler. And then Popovich asked for Simmons in a Kawhi Leonard deal. No way is Philadelphia trading someone that's going to be a top 5 player in the NBA in a few years down the road. But this puts Philadelphia among the teams to be in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference goes 4 deep in terms of teams that can theoretically make the finals. It's Philly, Boston, Toronto, and now Milwaukee has to be included with their big win over Golden State, with Giannis Antetokounmpo's big leap. They're among the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And oh yeah, Bud is a phenomenal coach. Can't forget that too. And then Chris Middleton's in a contract year, so he's having a phenomenal season as well. Let's go over college football from yesterday and from Friday night, because I didn't do a podcast yesterday. Some very interesting results. We'll start with Friday night. Number 13, Syracuse defeats Louisville 52-23. Syracuse goes to 8-2. Louisville drops to 2-8. Boise State upsets number 23, Fresno State 24-17. A correct pick by me on the podcast. Boise goes to 8-2. Fresno drops to 8-2. Saturday, 15, Florida defeats South Carolina 35-31. This game went exactly how I thought, that Florida would win and South Carolina would cover. Florida goes to 7-3, and South Carolina drops to 5-4. Missouri defeats Vanderbilt 33-28. I knew this game was going to be close. That point spread was way too big. Mizzou improves to 6-4. Vandy drops to 4-6. Texas A&M defeats Ole Miss 38-24. A&M barely covers. They go to 6-4. Ole Miss drops to 5-5. Nebraska defeats Illinois 54-35. Nebraska goes to 3-7. Illinois drops to 4-6. Indiana defeats Maryland 34-32, so Indiana is 1 win shy of bowl eligibility. Both teams are 5-5. Maryland's actually 1 win away too. But I think Indiana will eventually get one because Maryland has 2 tough opponents in a row coming up. Number 10, Ohio State defeats number 18, Michigan State 26-6. Good win for Ohio State to keep their playoff hopes alive. They're 9-1. Michigan State is 6-4. Kansas State defeats Kansas 21-17. This was a lot closer than I expected. Kansas State goes to 4-6. Kansas goes to 3-7. The Jayhawks have to win out. Or not the Jayhawks, the Wildcats have to win out in order to get bowl eligible. Number 9, West Virginia defeats TCU 47-10. Impressive win for the Mountaineers. They have to get these style points, they think, to move up in the playoff. And part of that is right. We'll see with the new rankings coming out this week if they really value that as much as they did in years past, as the Mountaineers go to 8-1, TCU drops to 4-6. Number 20, Penn State defeats Wisconsin 22-10 in the battle of the Big Ten disappointments. Penn State goes to 7-3, Wisconsin drops to 6-4. BYU defeats UMass 35-16. BYU goes to 5-5, UMass goes to 4-7. BYU's 1 win away from bowl eligibility. Army defeats Lafayette 31-13. Army goes to 8-2. Lafayette drops to 3-7. Number 12, UCF defeats Navy 35-24. UCF goes to 9-0. Navy drops to 2-8. Very disappointing season for Navy this year. SMU defeats UConn 62-50. SMU goes to 5-5. UConn drops to 1-9. SMU is a win away from bowl eligibility. Memphis defeats Tulsa 47-21. Memphis becomes bowl eligible. They go to 6-4. Tulsa drops to 2-8. Eastern Michigan defeats Akron 27-7. Eastern Michigan goes to 6-5. Akron drops to 4-5. Duke defeats North Carolina 42-35. This game was closer than I thought it was going to be. Duke goes to 7-3. UNC drops to 1-8. Troy defeats Georgia Southern 35-21. Impressive win for Troy as they go to 8-2. Georgia Southern drops to 7-3. Arizona State defeats UCLA 31-28. This game I thought would be close, and I was right. Arizona State becomes bowl eligible. They're 6-4. UCLA drops to 2-8. Marshall defeats Charlotte 30-13. Marshall goes to 6-3. Charlotte drops to 4-6. Virginia defeats Liberty 45-24. Virginia goes to 7-3. Liberty drops to 4-5. Middle Tennessee defeats UTEP 48-32. Middle goes to 7-3. UTEP drops to 1-9. Bowling Green defeats Central Michigan 24-13 in the battle of the MAC cellar dwellers as Bowling Green goes to 2-8. Central Michigan goes to 1-10. Number 1 Alabama defeats number 16 Mississippi State 24-0. Yet another shutout for the Crimson Tides. They go to 10-0. Mississippi State drops to 6-4. Tennessee defeats number 11 Kentucky 24-7. Great upset win for Jeremy Pruitt and the Vols. They're a 1 win away from bowl eligibility. They go to 5-5. Kentucky drops to 7-3. Number 8 Washington State defeats Colorado 31-7. Wazoo goes to 9-1. Colorado drops to 5-5. Number 4 Michigan defeats Rutgers 42-7. Michigan goes to 9-1. Rutgers drops to 1-9. Northwestern defeats number 21 Iowa 14-10. So Northwestern clinches the Big Ten West and goes to the Big Ten title game. They go to 6-4. Iowa goes to 6-4. Number 22 Iowa State defeats Baylor 28-14. I feel sorry for those that have Iowa minus 14 tickets. Iowa State drops to 6-3. Improves to 6-3. Baylor drops to 5-5. Baylor's a win away from bowl eligibility. Number 6 Oklahoma defeats Oklahoma State 48-47. Phenomenal game as Oklahoma State gets a touchdown with 1:03 to go. 24-yard pass from Taylor Cornelius to Tylan Wallace. They go for 2 and don't get the 2-point conversion. They want to copy West Virginia from last week. But anyway, Sooners go to 9-1. Cowboys drop to 5-5. Cowboys are 1 win away from bowl eligibility. Pitt defeats Virginia Tech 52-22 as Pitt goes to 6-4. They become bowl eligibility. And Virginia drops to 4-5. Virginia Tech. I think Pitt's 1 win away from going to the ACC title game, which is phenomenal for Pat Narduzzi in that program. Minnesota kills Purdue 41-10. Good bounce back win for Minnesota after losing to Illinois. They go to 5-5. Purdue goes to 5-5. Each team's 1 win away from bowl eligibility. Old Dominion defeats North Texas 34-31. An upset win for Old Dominion. They go to 3-7. North Texas drops to 7-3. Air Force defeats New Mexico 42-24. Air Force goes to 4-6. New Mexico goes to 3-7. Tulane defeats East Carolina 24-18. This was a lot lower scoring than I thought it would be. Tulane goes to 5-5. East Carolina goes to 2-7. Tulane's 1 win away from bowl eligibility. Appalachian State defeats Texas State 38-7. App State goes to 7-2. Texas State drops to 3-7. Utah State defeats San Jose State 62-24. Impressive win for Utah State. They go to 9-1. San Jose State drops to 1-9. FAU defeats Western Kentucky 34-15. FAU goes to 5-5. Western Kentucky drops to 1-9. Arkansas State defeats Coastal Carolina 44-16. Arkansas State goes to 6-4. Coastal Carolina goes to 5-5. Louisiana defeats Georgia State 36-22. Louisiana goes to 5-5. Georgia State goes to 2-8. UL Monroe defeats South Alabama 38-10. Impressive win for UL Monroe. They go to 6-4. USA drops to 2-8. Utah defeats Oregon 32-25. Impressive win for Utah with their backup quarterback Jason Shelley. They go to 7-3. Oregon drops to 6-4. Number 5, Georgia defeats number 24, Auburn 27-10. Another impressive win for Georgia as they go to 9-1. Auburn drops to 6-4. Georgia Tech defeats Miami 27-21. Tech goes to 6-4. Miami drops to 5-5. FIU defeats UTSA 45-7. FIU goes to 7-3. UTSA drops to 3-7. Louisiana Tech defeats Rice 28-13. Tech goes to 7-3. Rice drops to 1-10. Cincinnati defeats USF 35-23. Cincinnati goes to 9-1. USF drops to 7-3. Temple defeats Houston 59-49. Impressive win for Temple. They go to 6-4. Houston drops to 7-3. Number 7, LSU defeats Arkansas 24-17. LSU goes to 8-2. Arkansas drops to 2-8. Number 3, Notre Dame defeats FSU 42-13. Impressive win for Notre Dame as they go to 10-0. FSU drops to 4-6. Number 19, Texas defeats Texas Tech 41-34. Impressive win for Texas to go to 7-3. Tech drops to 5-5. Tech's a win away from bowl eligibility. UAB defeats Southern Miss 26-23 in overtime. UAB goes to 9-1. Southern Miss goes to 4-5. Number 2, Clemson defeats Boston College 27-7. As Clemson goes to 10-0, BC goes to 7-3. Stanford defeats Oregon State 48-17. Impressive win for Stanford to go to 6-4. Oregon State drops to 2-8. Cal defeats USC 15-14. Wow. Cal goes to 6-4. USC drops to 5-5. Jesus. USC can still make a bowl. They need one more win. But Clay Helton, man, that's certainly a coach that's going to get fired. 2 terrible home losses, one to Arizona State and now to Cal. But good for Cal becoming bowl eligible. Nevada defeats Colorado State 49-10. Good win for Nevada, go to 6-4. Colorado State drops to 3-7, so Nevada's now bowl eligible. UNLV upsets San Diego State 27-24. This is one of the shockers of the year. UNLV goes to 3-7. San Diego State drops to 7-3. I'm going to go to NBA. Going to go over the results from just last night and yesterday. The Raptors defeat the Knicks 128-112. Not surprised because Toronto is the best team in the East right now. They're 12-1. New York drops to 4-9. The Clippers defeat the Bucks 128-126 in overtime. As Clippers go to 7-5, Milwaukee drops to 9-3. Impressive win for the Clippers. The Pelicans defeat the Suns 119-99. Pelicans go to 6-6. The Suns drop to 2-10. The Wizards defeat the Heat 116-110. A nice win for the Wizards as they go to 3-9. Miami goes to 5-7. The Bulls defeat the Cavs 99-98. Bulls go to 4-9. Cleveland drops to 1-11. As the Grizzlies continue their surprise start to go to 7-4, Philly drops to 8-6. The Spurs defeat the Rockets 96-89. Impressive win for the Spurs to go to 7-4. Houston drops to 4-7. Story of this game is that Carmelo Anthony didn't play due to a quote-unquote illness, and then a report came out is that Melo's unhappy with his role in Houston, and they might let him go. That's somewhat surprising because he thought he'd like it there with Chris Paul and James Harden. The Warriors defeat the Nets 116-100. The Warriors go to 11-2. Brooklyn drops to 6-7. The Mavs defeat the Thunder 111-96. Dallas goes to 4-8. OKC drops to 7-5. The Lakers defeat the Kings 101-86. Lakers back to 500 at 6-6. Sacramento drops to 7-6. Today's slate you have at 3:30 Hornets Pistons, 7 o'clock Pacers Rockets, 7:30 Magic Knicks from MSG, 8 o'clock Bucks Nuggets, 9 o'clock Celtics Trailblazers, and 9:30 Hawks Lakers. I like some of those games, especially Bucks Nuggets. Let's just hope that everybody plays and nobody sits. Celtics Blazers is also a nice one. Alright, now we're going to go to hockey. Go over yesterday's results. The Sabres defeat the Canucks 4-3 in a shootout. Sabres go to 9-6-2. Vancouver drops to 10-6-2. The Flyers defeat the Blackhawks 4-0. Flyers go to 9-7-1. Blackhawks drop to 6-8-3. 0-2 under the intern head coach. The Preds defeat the Stars 5-4 in overtime, an impressive win for Nashville as they go to 13-3. Dallas drops to 9-6-2. The Rangers defeat the Blue Jackets 5-4 in a shootout as they go to 8-7-2. Columbus drops to 9-6-2. The Bruins defeat the Maple Leafs 5-1. Bruins go to 9-5-2. Toronto drops to 11-6. Canadiens defeat the Golden Knights 5-4. Impressive win for Montreal as they go to 9-5-3. Vegas drops to 7-9-1. The Senators defeat the Lightning 6-4. Nice win for the Ottawa Senators as they go to 7-7-3. Tampa drops to 12-4-1. Panthers defeat the Islanders 4-2. A nice win for the Panthers to go to 5-5-3. Islanders drops to 8-6-2. Penguins defeat the Coyotes 4-0. A much needed win for Pittsburgh as they go to 7-5-3. Arizona drops to 7-7-1. The Red Wings defeat the Hurricanes 4-3 in a shootout, and a nice win for Jeff Blashill and the Red Wings as they go to 7-8-2. And Carolina drops to 7-7-3. The Flames defeat the Kings 1-0. Calgary goes to 10-6-1. LA drops to 5-10-1. Today's slate, at 3 o'clock you have the Wild and the Blues. 5 o'clock you have the Senators and the Panthers. Coyotes Capitals. 7 o'clock Golden Knights Bruins. Devils Jets. 9 o'clock Flames Sharks. 9:30 Avalanche Oilers. Going to go over today's NFL slate and what I'm looking forward to in each game, as I do each and every Sunday. Saints Bengals. Saints. Do they avoid the letdown trap? There's a reason why I took the Bengals in this game. Outdoors, road, good team, good defense. And I think the Bengals are a team that's capable of doing it. And speaking of the Bengals, I mentioned that I think they're capable of doing it. They better not let me down here because I have a lot of faith that they're going to get this done. And this is a game that they need to have to keep themselves in the mix for the AFC North title. The Falcons and the Browns. Falcons absolutely have to have this game to get back above 500, put themselves back in the NFC wildcard mix. Browns, they're just a mess right now. Jaguars, Colts. Jaguars coming off the bye. See how they look, because they looked pathetic the last couple weeks, especially that terrible loss in Dallas. And then Blake Bortles got benched the next week, and then they lost in London. And then the Colts. They've quietly been playing well the last couple weeks. We'll see if they can get within one game of 500 here. Lions, Bears, the Lions. I don't know if this team is going to end up like a 4-12, 5-11 type of team, or if they'll pick off some unexpected teams and end up 7-9, 8-8. Bears, Khalil Mack's back today, and that is a big bonus for them. Cardinals, Chiefs. This is going to be, as we know, a lopsided game. Arizona. Are they going to surprise us and keep this close? Are they going to be like the Week 3 Bills, but not pull out the outright upset, but like just hang around? But that Week 3 Bills team just pulled the outright upset and was great from the start. I don't know if that'll be the case for the Cardinals. I doubt it. And the Chiefs, just don't look ahead and get out of there and cross your fingers and hope that nobody gets hurt. Patriots, Titans. Another former Patriot coach coaching against Belichick. You have Vrabel here. So let's see how familiar does he get with his staff's play calling duties against the team that he formerly coached against. And for the Patriots, like the Chiefs or whomever's a favorite, the Bears, just don't look ahead. I think the Bears are in more trouble in terms of looking ahead because they have the Vikings next week, but the Pats are never a team that looks ahead per se. The Redskins and the Buccaneers. The Redskins have a lot of injuries on their offensive line, so I could see the reason why that people are picking Tampa Bay. But Tampa's defense can't be trusted. It's the worst in the league. Bills, Jets, this is the worst game of the year, in my opinion, with backup quarterbacks. in Matt Barkley and Josh McCown. This game could very well be uglier than Jets-Dolphins from last week. I dare nobody to watch this game. 4 o'clock, Chargers-Raiders. Chargers, they're just on a roll right now. Just don't look ahead. And don't have special teams issues. And in the Raiders, are they going to keep this close? They kept the Colts close for a little while at home a few weeks ago. I expect them to play a little better since they're home, but I still think they lose by double digits. I had 38-23 pegged as the final score of that game. Dolphins-Packers. Do the Dolphins have a chance? They're 5-4. But Lambeau Field's intimidating. And I just don't see how they pull off an upset here. Packers, they have to win this game, or else they're going nowhere this year. This is the biggest must-win of any middle-tier team that anybody has, perhaps all season. There could be jobs on the line in this game. If they lose, I wouldn't be shocked if Mike McCarthy's let go. Like, this is one of those spots. A big spot for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers here. And then also at 4:25, you have the Seahawks and the Rams. These two teams faced each other about a month ago. Seattle should have beaten the Rams on their home field, but didn't. We'll see how they look this week, see if they bounce back from that disappointing loss from last week, in which they had a chance to tie the game, in theory, but the Seahawks kept making mental mistakes in that one. Rams, see how they recover from their first loss of the year. And then tonight you have the Cowboys and the Eagles. The Cowboys are a team that is just a mess right now with that bad loss, and everyone's talking about when's Jason Garrett going to get fired? Is Dak Prescott the answer? You're going to hear the same questions tonight as you did after that Tennessee game, I bet. And Philadelphia, I think, is just poised to put up a phenomenal performance like they did against the Giants a few weeks back in primetime. So I expect a big performance from the Eagles this week. And then we'll talk about Giants-Niners tomorrow. And before I go, each and every podcast now I've been doing, You Can Bank on It, is where I place a bet or a parlay. For the most part, it's a parlay. And I put down a certain amount to win a certain amount. And today I have a parlay for you guys. And it's an NFL one. 7-team moneyline teaser. You have the Atlanta Falcons, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Bears, the Chargers, the Packers, the Rams, the Eagles. Moneyline parlay, plus 338. I waged $6.14 with the potential payout of $26.92. And by the way, yesterday I won my You Can Bank on It with the 12-team college football parlay that went off with all the 12 o'clock games. And then Friday's parlay failed because there's a couple upsets that happened unexpectedly in college basketball and in the NBA. So we are at 5 for 10 for the month. Let's try to make it above 500 for the month. So I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.